It might be a very delicate balance that we have right now and could just be thrown off with this one.
Yeah, maybe if we figure it out.
You are now listening to the Beach.
Good heavens, this happens to me sometimes. The meaning will pass away soon. So ask me your weirdest questions. I'll reply however you want me to.
Increasingly with internet stuff and how easy it is to find you. If I was like 16 and wanted to be in a band, maybe I'd go buy something else, and then people couldn't just search you and...
Sure.
Because who fucking knows what you're going to do in...
No, that's true, though. It's nice to have like a little bit of a shield or something.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any other questions before we...
No, are we going? How's this momentum? How's this pacing of ours right now?
How we doing?
Yeah. Normally, I'll just say...
Oh, shit.
In the dark. Are we going to kill the battery? I don't want to do that.
No, but the car... It'll stop beeping, and then I think we'll be good. It might go out again, but...
It's all good.
The battery's okay?
Oh, the car battery's fine, yeah. We could do this for like 3 hours.
Okay.
Promise.
Okay. So we are in North Park, San Diego, outside the Irenic. I am Nick Jackson, and I have 2 special guests. Would you introduce yourself?
I'm Dustin Colhayes, a.k.a. Walter.
And I'm Kris Schobert, the drummer.
And you guys both play in a band called Walter, etc.
Yes.
Just a few weeks ago, you put out a record called The Gloom Cruise.
True.
And you're starting the second leg of a pretty... I was going to say epic. I don't know if... I'll say epic. A pretty epic tour. Just following you on Instagram these last few months, ever since we were texting... I couldn't believe how many fucking shows you guys have played. What's this tour looked like?
It's been big. It's, I think, about 55 shows over the course of about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't toot our own horn too much. Other bands do really huge tours, too, but this one is a behemoth for sure.
Yeah, big for us.
55 days... Or 55 shows or 55 days?
Shows.
Okay.
In days, it's probably like closer to... It's all within the fall, so like 3 months.
And what are you about to do now?
About to do 22. We have 22 left.
So you start in San Diego, you're ending up in Gainesville for the fest?
Yeah, that's the first chunk. After that, we'll go up the East Coast, and then come back through the center of the United States, back to California.
The fest is going to be fucking dope this year.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Against me playing Reinventing
I
Axl
know,
Rose?
yeah, so excited for that.
Yeah, and Mom Jeans are coming with you guys.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Rat Boys a couple days ago.
Nice.
They're coming.
Saw them last year, too. They were great.
Yeah. What's the plan when you're there? Is it a multiple day show? Do you play once and hang out for a few days? I don't get how it works.
Well, yeah, usually you just play once and then hang out and enjoy a bunch of really good music. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's like way more about the rest of the festival rather than the show for yourself. I feel like like our set will be fun, but it's going to be really fun to drink PBR and walk around Gainesville watching other bands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've never been. Did you guys play it last year?
I've been once before. You've been twice, right?
Yeah, me and Russell played acoustic last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been twice. Chris has been once. This will be our second time as the full band.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a place, right?
It's not huge, but it's not small. It's like a couple blocks, right?
It's definitely like a mid-sized downtown. It's like maybe like 10 square blocks and all.
Okay, yeah.
And where do the bands stay?
All the hotels.
Yeah, pretty much.
The cool ones, the Holiday Inn. They have like the pool party that everyone knows about.
Yeah.
But we've always stayed a little bit outside town because it's kind of nice to have a little peace and quiet to get to.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit more about the tour, but let's talk about the record that just came out. It's fucking awesome. It's really, really
thank you.
good.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it's like so... This sounds like a stupid word. It's so real. I was just watching this Beatles documentary, and having like these full... I grew up listening to a lot of punk music, and it's not... I love punk music, but it's not totally considered. There's not lead guitar lines. There's not bridges. There's not choruses that each chorus, it builds up a little bit. I don't know, all those like really thoughtful things. I was listening to it, I don't know, it's really fucking good.
Yeah, well, thank you.
That was
It's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a part of that came from being like the first time we were in an actual studio and we had a producer this time named Jeff Rosenstock. So I feel like part of that, like the thoughtfulness of the music or whatever that you're talking about, definitely helped having like a producer.
What? So that's somebody that hasn't worked with a producer. What does that look like? Do you show him demos? Is he
we
involved
did
in
do
the
that.
writing process?
Well, so Dustin and Russell, who's in the band, those guys recorded demos on the Oregon coast, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so they had the whole thing recorded in demo versions, and then they sent that to Jeff. So Jeff was, kind of knew what he was getting into when we got into the studio.
Yeah, so Jeff had heard the record all demoed out, and then he had like ideas for like, hey, I think you could like repeat this chorus again, or you could like tweak this melody here, little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it like working with somebody on your writing who's not really a part of the band? I can see that being kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes it's difficult to take it's hard to take criticism even from somebody in the band, but when it's out, I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah. It was a very weird dynamic because as a Taurus, I can be pretty stubborn and hard-headed.
Taurus.
I don't know, but yeah, like I don't really like people telling me what to do with my song,
Yeah,
but compounded with that, Jeff Rosenstock and his music and Bomb the Music Industry and his own band, his solo stuff has been something I've like loved and looked up to him my entire life. So it was like having like this hero of mine telling me like how to do my songs better, which was simultaneously like the greatest thing in the world, but also like so hard to hear sometimes too. It was a good thing to go through though.
Mm-hmm. He always let us have the last say too. He never made us do anything. He just had a lot of suggestions, and they're all good suggestions.
He's a genius.
Yeah. And he always let us have the last say, which I think is an important thing for a producer. Yeah.
As I'm getting older and I've tried and failed at a lot of different kind of creative projects, I can see how important that is, because you just get too close to something and you just can't. For you to be able to be the creator and also have the perspective and put yourself in the place of an audience and then make those critiques, like you have to be some next level genius to be able to do that without some kind of help,
That's so true.
Mm-hmm.
And having that neutral third party of a producer I feel like it was something we needed a lot more than we even knew we needed. Just to like get out of our own heads and like have someone tell us a different perspective, like you're saying.
Yeah. What was the like actual recording process like? I'm a little bit of a recording geek. I'm always interested in how it happens. Like click track or no click track?
No click track on this one.
Really?
Yeah. Which was fun. The other albums we had usually used a click track, especially because we were doing so many different tracks because we had like a lot of different percussion. So a click track was really helpful since you had to layer so many different instruments.
Yeah.
Or at least percussion wise, there was no one drum set. I was like, shaking tambourines, hitting a wall, doing something else. So yeah. Well, yeah, there were no click tracks on this one.
We did it all to tape too.
Uh-huh.
We did it with Jack Shirley, by the way, another legend. He was it was his studio, the Atomic Garden. And
so no click, is it like drums and bass? Do you do a scratch track on guitar?
So at the time we didn't have anyone playing bass, so we did drums and 2 guitars, and then we went back in and dubbed in the bass. I played the bass, and then Russell went over his leads and kind of polished them out a second time.
So it was mostly kind of live.
Yeah.
Wow.
The core of it is all live to tape, which is kind of fun. It's about as natural as we could have made it, I feel like.
That's rad. And then you take the instrumentals, drop them in the computer, and then mix it in the computer.
Yep. He mixed it on the computer. Thank God. And then we
vocals not to tape though, right?
Vocals not to tape.
Okay, yeah, that's like so much pressure to be able to.
Yeah, I'm not that good. But we also went home because we didn't finish everything in the studio. So we went home and added percussion and some backing vocals and stuff, just like recording by ourselves in our basement in Russell's bedroom, which was kind of cool because that's how we used to record too. So it was a nice blending of the new and the old processes.
How did you do that? Because we were just talking before about
GarageBand.
Yeah, we used GarageBand for that. Yeah.
What gear?
Just a couple mics. I have like the SM57.
Oh, that's rad.
And then the 7B and the your condenser mic, some AKG condenser mic. But yeah, nothing too fancy.
Yeah, nothing too fancy.
And then talk about the difference between you've been playing in this band or a version of this band for how long? A while now.
Dude, a while.
Yeah, since 2009, so 8 years. Yeah.
And Chris, on the record, it's been me. Chris was the other original guy from in high school.
So 8 years and a lot of DIY stuff, putting out a ton of music, but nothing with this kind of, with articles with your photo on it and
Yeah, it's never been. It was never legit.
Yeah, this is a little different this time around.
Yeah, talk about how that happens and just the differences in doing it this way versus the other way, and like what that's been like. Getting that attention, the good, the bad.
Yeah, we've definitely, we kind of made a decision with our friend Aaron Kovacs, who does Lauren Records, who's always put out our records, and our friend Eric Osman, who does Lamo Records, who's just been a longtime buddy, to actually kind of try a little bit with this record, when in the past we didn't do anything. We would just throw it up on Bandcamp and go play some shitty shows.
Why?
Why did we
do it that way?
Just... Yeah, we were just young and didn't really care.
Yeah, pretty carefree. Just, let's do this. Okay, yeah.
And then we were 25 and we're like, oh, we've never even tried to get a song premiered on a website or anything like all these other bands are doing, you know? We've never even tried to follow in those well-trodden footsteps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then talking to the two labels, we're like, okay, well, let's go a little bit more conventional and just you know what I mean? Just to see what the other side of the fence is all about.
And what does that... Okay, so you decide to do that. What does doing that look like? Do you have to write some kind of...
Oh, it gets
Does somebody
silly.
ask you to write
silly.
a work doc? What does it look like?
I'm writing the bio of our band and then sending it off to the labels, and they're like, no, make it a little more juicy. You got to tell a story. And I'm like, oh my god.
But what are those notes? So who knows how to do that?
No one. As I'm learning, no one knows what they're doing. Everyone's just making it up as they go.
I simultaneously hate it, but also I'm really happy for it because, I think you guys are a great band, and I know that, I'm a music geek. I'll just listen to music and not care about the story or whatever, but I think for a ton of people, they need that to be able to understand music or to care about it or something, so
it's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's... As much as it sucks, there is a reason. You tell your story and get your music out to more people. If you go, I don't know, you know what I mean. If you maybe do some of the things that you don't think you need to do.
Just like we talked about how important it is maybe to work with a third person to get that perspective, it's also so important to care enough about your project to do the promotion too. And it's so hard. Something about every creative person I know, whether they're a sculptor or a dancer or in a band, it seems like the type of person that goes into that type of world is also, even though they're kind of obsessed with their self in one way because it's listen to me, do my thing, they're also very shy and very, don't look at me, don't. It's this weird dichotomy, I think, of being a creative person. I don't know.
It's so true.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like nowadays you have to be not just an artist, but also a marketer or some sort of your own publicist.
A brand.
Right. You got to know you got to be smart about your business and also be creative as an artist. And both of those things don't come naturally to everybody.
For sure. Is it possible to do it without that?
I think there's been some success stories. But it always comes from someone else who loves that person or that artist and then does the say business side of things for them.
Yeah.
I don't
or
know.
they fake it and they make it seem that they cloak the promotion.
Yeah,
I guess that would work, right?
That shit happens a lot, especially the more money you have, you can do it in this really sophisticated way to market your shit without making it seem like you're marketing.
That's really
your
true.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's marketing genius right there.
Yeah. But there's people that spend, I don't know pop music, but whatever big pop record that comes out, the new Drake record or whatever, you don't spend that much money and not spend a lot of time thinking about how to make this seem as appealing as possible.
So true.
Yeah.
And that's just not the way any of our minds ever really think, you know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately so. I wish they did. I wish one of us was a marketing genius.
That would be helpful, wouldn't it?
The cool thing is, people, like, kids still kind of get it, I feel. Like, bands that rip, that put out good, I don't know.
It's true. I feel like, and that our band like slid by just because people liked the band for a long time, or I mean, probably still happening. It's not like we've got this huge marketing campaign going, but I feel like there are a lot of bands that like are just purely great, and people love them because of that, and they might even love them because they're like not going in a conventional route with their career.
Yeah. I don't know if it's interesting for people to hear about. Just personally for me, before I started like interviewing bands and stuff, I was so naive about how everything worked. I didn't know what a PR person was. Like I literally didn't know that existed. You know, so it's just been so weird for me to learn. Like, oh, this is like a whole nother world.
Yeah.
Like that's really what happens.
It's honestly the same for us. It wasn't until the past few years. It was being friends with modern baseball, I think, and watching their careers blow up was how we started to see and be like, oh, that's what the music industry is all about. You know what I mean?
Do you guys think about the future? Like what to do?
He said the F word.
Do you like make plans and stuff?
I mean, there's some loose plans right now, but at least touring plans. I mean, we want to keep going and keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's not necessarily anything super concrete at the moment, I would say. What would you say, Dust?
Yeah, there's like thinking like a few months in ahead. We're like really trying to go to the UK and Europe. Just check that off the bucket list. Even though we're probably not the caliber of a band that would go over there, but we're just going to do it anyways.
Oh no, don't say that.
No, but you know what I mean. And but other than like the near future, I don't think we have like some huge future goal or something. Just keep making records we like, I guess.
Yeah.
Playing shows as long as it's fun.
What does touring this much feel like? I think a lot of people, they have a really romantic view about what it looks like, and I don't know if that's necessarily based in reality or not. It
is fun. I really enjoy it.
That did not sound like it was fun.
No, it is though. It is fun. It's a really different lifestyle, you know? It's weird how, like, cyclic it is, like, but how not it is, because you're just repeating the same thing day in and day out, but you're moving everywhere, so your environment changes. Though you do the same thing, you wake up somewhere you've never really been before, you get in a car and you stay in that car for like 3 to 8 hours, maybe 12. Then you get out, you sound check, you play, you sleep somewhere new, and you wake up in that, and you just do that over
you just
and over
do
again.
that. It's like you're working the whole time.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
And people don't really understand that because they're always like, "Oh, you're probably partying and meeting all these cool people," which is definitely true. But you're also like, yeah, you're at work for like a month.
Yeah, a couple things. What's it like being in a small enclosed space with the same dudes for a long time? And then also, what's it like kind of bombarded, maybe that's not the best verb, but by strangers? All of a sudden, I'm just like up in your face wanting something from you. And not that maybe makes it sound more negative than I mean, but just like me on an average day, I don't see a stranger. I mean,
yeah,
and a friend, maybe like I talk to the person at the cafe or whatever, but
right,
not like being
not
in
like
a band
going to
where
a show
every day. Yeah, I think that is, I don't know. It's an absurd. It's a weird thing, right?
It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not normal meeting a bunch of people all the time. But it's really enjoyable. I love meeting people. It's really cool meeting people in all different ways, especially when like the music means so much to them. It's really cool to have like people say that. Yeah, it means a lot. I don't know, makes it feel like this is all worth it because this is a lot of work.
Yeah, it definitely
cool
adds fuel to the fire. You like show up to a show super groggy, and you just kind of want to snap your fingers and be playing on stage, and then snap your fingers and be in bed. But there's all the in between of talking to people and like hanging out. And it gets tiresome, but when you have people who are like, this is their one night to see your band, and they've been like thinking about it and wanting to hear you play these songs, then it's like, it definitely perks you up a little bit.
Yeah.
It makes you grateful.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Very
something
grateful.
I've thought, I don't really have a great way of putting it, but I think it's weird that a lot of people consume music almost strictly through a device. But if you're in a band, you interact with music on such a more real, person-to-person, real physical space way than the average person who they go to a show, like you said, like once a month or something, and then most of the time it's just they're on YouTube or Spotify or whatever. It's
That's
like,
so true.
It's such a weird thing that you guys are in front of faces.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, like on this tour, we're going to see Mom Jeans every night, and we're going to have fun watching their live show. And then when we hear Mom Jeans recorded, it's going to be like, oh, this is what the rest of the world is listening to. We're so used to like the live interacting with it. It's crazy.
Or people see videos or something, they don't see like the real, or Instagram posts, they don't see the real person.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
It's so true about friends saying like, "Oh, your tour looks like it's so much fun." Like it is, but like we definitely choose what videos we're gonna post.
Yeah, we didn't post a video of people sleeping in the van. Yeah.
I forgot that. What about
the cramped space.
Yeah, or just the privacy or the getting, the same people that close to you all day, every day.
I personally get pretty used to it. I've gotten pretty decent at like feeling like I'm, alone by myself in a van full of people. I just get lost in my head and I just feel like I'm alone. I don't know. You kind of just get used to always being around other people, and we all get along really well. So that's a huge plus. That would be really tough if there's a bunch of feuds going on, but that doesn't really ever happen.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend's band who maybe all the members don't get along so well. And he was like, really? Like, you guys, like, everyone's good? And it was when we were on the East Coast in the middle of our tour. And I was like, yeah, everyone's good. Like, I think we're pretty fortunate that we're all kind of friends before band members, where we don't have some of the interpersonal problems like some groups do.
I've been in a situation where I've been friends with everybody, but still, even, the sixth day in a row that you're doing 7 hours, it's like, I don't want to listen to this fucking song.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
that
there's little
happens.
things. There's little things.
Maybe I'm just like a curmudgeon. I don't know.
No, I totally feel that. I don't want to listen to this song or listen to this whatever. But
yeah, we can give examples of petty things. For
sure, yeah.
But nothing big.
That's awesome.
Nothing big, yeah.
But there's like, it's like my feet smell and everyone's like, Dustin, come on. Or like Brett always puts on these terrible like murder mystery podcasts that sometimes you're like, dude,
He loves them.
You're like, it's 9 in the morning. I don't want to hear about how this kid chopped his mom's head off or something. But other than that kind of stuff.
So what's the secret? It's like you think just being friends first that... I don't know, because I think people were friends first and still grow to fucking hate each other.
Yeah,
it might be a very delicate balance that we have right now and could just be thrown off with this one.
Yeah, maybe if we figure it out, it will make everything worse. It'll just go away.
Yeah, maybe we should change the subject before we ruin it.
I don't know what it is, but generally, it's easy going.
Highlights from the last leg of the tour?
God, it's like all a blur. I gotta like think.
Even not music stuff, like just like you saw something super rad or...
what have we been doing?
Cool.
Where have we been? What have we been doing?
We've been a lot of places.
This is always hard when people put you on the spot. You're like,
no, it's okay. I know it's. I think
we could say some really cool bands we saw though, like Bad Heaven that we saw was really good.
Yeah, shout out John Gallum.
Shout out John Gallum. It's a band called Gump that we have been friends with. They're from like DC. They're like a rapper and kind of a jazzy band that.
Nice. Where do you play in DC? That's where I'm from.
It's a place called Uptown Arts. I think it like just opened.
Okay.
But it was like a art space DIY type venue.
Cool.
But yeah, some great bands. And we got to see the Fall Colors in like the Midwest and the Northeast, which is...
It's always a treat.
We're always kind of suckers for that.
Yeah, I'm so... like I said, I'm going tomorrow. I'm so excited to see the fall. I've only been really back to the East Coast once. I've lived out here 3 years now, and it was during the winter, like a Christmas time. And I was like, fuck this. But October, that's like the sweet spot.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah, I'm really stoked
in your autumn sweaters, walking around New York. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Lowlights, any van breakdowns or like shows that got canceled the day of or something?
Oh, yeah. We had a show in Olympia where we showed up and like the band, two of the bands that were supposed to play canceled. So it was our band and the guy who booked the show. And I don't know, we just don't have a lot of people who listen to us in Olympia. And I don't think the show was especially promoted well. So there was like literally no one there. And it was just us and this guy. And he's like, so you don't have to play like after I play. So me and Russell watched his set and he was pretty cool. And then
I was watching too. I was there.
You were there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So he played to me, Russell, and Chris, And then after he was done, he's like, "You guys don't have to play." And you're like, "All right, yeah, we're not going to play for literally just you."
It
But
was.
then-
Let's say nobody.
No, it was literally just
nobody.
him.
Yeah, of course. It's all good. We'll take an intermission. I've had to take things out after the fact.
Oh, really?
I mean, nothing, no murders or anything, but even like you said, just a personal thing. And actually, what you said, it's not even bad for the person saying it. You don't want to bum somebody else out.
Totally.
And
Yeah.
I've tried to think about that as I've done this. It's like, I don't want to use even my tiny little microphone to bum somebody else
It's
out.
true.
Like, I don't know. That's just shitty.
I will say, though, I don't know, not speaking for Chris, but I haven't filtered myself up until the moment that I said I was filtering myself.
Yeah.
I promise everything else we've said is true and nothing held back.
But it's weird I've thought about this also, meeting bands and stuff. It's like your level of, for lack of a better word, like celebrity. Just people know who you
There's
are.
no better word.
But like people at this show know who you are. If you're, I don't know, they can literally just walk right. We're outside.
That's true.
They can just take your photo and be like, "Yo, Walter, etc. is doing this." I don't know.
Yeah, they're drinking in the parking lot. or something.
It's just kind of a lot of pressure in a weird. I don't know.
No, it's
It's
true.
just a weird thing. I've noticed, and I'm like, whoa, that's people in a band in 2017 have a lot to think about. You have to be really mature and really smart.
It's
smarter
true.
than the average person.
Yeah, with social media and stuff.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like one time outside a show, I was like smoking a joint. I'll say it. And someone came up and took like a flash in my face and took this pretty cool but intrusive photo of me like ripping this J.
I
and then
remember this,
And then
yeah.
he posted on Instagram and tags me, and I'm like, dude, my grandma follows my Instagram. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's like,
Or I'm wearing all black right now, and I was walking through North Park to meet you guys, and somebody wasn't looking and almost ran into me.
Oh,
and I was just
man.
like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's not my... Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. I'm
no, you
kinda
almost
being a
got
jerk.
hit. You
yeah,
can
you're
yell.
allowed to react
But
when you almost get hit.
It's still just a weird... I wouldn't necessarily want that video and be like, Nick Jackson.
Right, and it's
But what
just
the fuck
that
are you
on
doing,
loop.
guy? Yeah, like that mind.
It's like a vine of that. And like, don't listen to his podcast. And then it's
Yeah,
the next thing
he's
you
a
know.
jerk.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing about the future. I don't know. I guess it'll make everybody nice all the time. I don't know.
It's going to turn everyone into robots.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no idea. It is strange though, huh? It's just it's crazy. It just everything goes everywhere. Yeah.
It makes everyone so image conscious and brand conscious, circling it back for us. But like,
Yeah.
because everything is going to be put up, you know,
Yeah.
and it sucks.
Makes you worry more too. Did I say something stupid? I don't think I did.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It'll last forever.
Yeah,
it's
it'll
not
last- it
even
doesn't
if
go
it's
away.
stupid. Is what about in 2027?
Yeah. The
Exactly.
Is it
Yeah.
going to be stupid then?
Because the things we all probably said when we were like 14 years old, some of them are probably not okay nowadays. What's gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that whole thing, the past is the past. You can't do anything about it, just move on. That doesn't even hold up anymore. You know what I mean?
Or it's like I can go to the store and buy weed right now, but who knows what this fucked up country? Maybe in 10
Exactly.
years it's insanely illegal again, and now there's all
And
these.
that's on your record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single time I've talked about smoking weed on this, I just have hours of me. It's like I can't deny it. Now. Fuck.
Yeah, same. I just outed myself too.
Yeah, oops. Well, actually, I didn't say anything yet.
Yeah,
No,
you're
we-
good. Chris doesn't smoke.
I think ultimately it's good. It'll make people nicer
It's true.
Mhm.
and
I see
more. Maybe not. Who knows? Who fucking knows?
At least it makes people aware of their actions and their words in
That's
a
very
positive
true.
way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Have you thought? I always ask this for bands. It's completely cool to say no because I know it's a little unfair. But do you think about your next batch of songs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I never want to
Every
put people on
day.
the spot. Like I know you just put out a record. Where's the new shit?
Just speaking for me, but I know Chris is even with his own music projects the same. I'm thinking about like like 2 records from now all the time.
Oh really?
Just more in a daydreaming kind of way. Like, ooh, I wonder where we can take our sound and when we're like 35. You know, maybe less of a strategic way, more of just a dreamy way. But
What does that look like? Have you kind of played with new songs, or is it too hard in this van with people everywhere?
I don't know about you, Chris, but you get pretty good at like even when music's blasting, like still writing a song in your head, like singing the song in your head. So I think the van and being on tour is a really good time to be working on music.
Oh yeah.
Personally, just have a lot of time to like think, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're living music, I guess, just like music.
Yeah,
music
you
all
see
the
in
time.
bands like tonight, and you'll be like, "Oh, I want to take that from them or whatever," you know.
Mm-hmm.
Take that exact riff. No.
What about your personal relationships now that you've been gone for so long and continue to be gone?
Like personal relationships with like family or like stuff like that. You mean
All
outside
of the
the van?
romantic ones, even just my buddies that aren't playing music, or my folks, or
Right.
just your life that isn't you, band you. You know, like how does that part of your life, how do you navigate that?
Well, I don't know. Right now, I'm single. It's just me, and so that makes it easy. I've definitely toured with a girlfriend, and that makes it much harder. You know, that's really tough. But since it's just me right now, things are relatively easy. The other part of me, the person who likes physics, I was going to grad school at University of Oregon and getting a PhD in physics, but I put it on hold to do the band at this point in time. So I'm not doing that right now. But I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm happy to be doing this right now. So
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
School seems like it'll be there more consistently than
exactly.
a band.
Than
Yeah.
band life.
hmm
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a huge factor in that decision. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Dustin?
I've had the same partner since I was more or less since I was like 19, 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like simultaneously used to touring with a loved one back home, but also it doesn't ever seem to get easier, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely sucks. But it's like anything in life. I feel like you have to make a sacrifice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so not like I'm sacrificing the whole relationship, but like I got to be gone for a month at a time, and it sucks. And same with like family and friends too, of course.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
you know, you can't win them all.
Last question. Things you're excited. We talked about the fest. That's a big exciting thing. What
Mhm.
about other big shows coming up, or a single coming out, or what's exciting happening these next few, the future months, the rest of 2017?
I'm excited for a couple of shows. I'm not sure they've been announced yet, so I'm not sure I'm allowed
No, they
to
have
say.
been.
They have been?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
comes out in 2 days. So
Oh, okay.
They've been announced,
good.
don't worry.
So we're playing with Slaughter Beach Dog. We're doing 3 California shows, and really stoked for those.
oh, awesome.
Yeah, yeah, those should be really fun. I really like their new EP that's out, and the album too.
Those will be
the album's
big
not out
shows.
yet, is it?
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah.
They should be pretty big.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Awesome.
So yeah, really stoked for that.
And I was gonna say that because the new Slaughter Beach Dog album is I don't think it's out yet, but I heard it a couple times, and it's
Yeah, I heard it once through.
probably
It's
going to be
great.
my favorite album of the year.
Awesome.
But besides that, I'm really looking forward to booking a UK Europe tour for this year and going and
You think you'll go in 2017?
no,
Okay.
2018, like
Yeah.
early 2018 in like 6 months. But I'm
Mhm.
starting to work on it right now,
Rad.
and I think that'll be cool new territory for us to explore.
Cool. I know I follow the band on Instagram. You guys are very active on that. Is that the best way to keep in touch with all things
I think
Walter,
so.
etc.?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at the Facebook. We're all kind of into Instagram, so I think that's the best social media.
Red. I will link to that in the description of the episode.
Nice.
Cool.
Well, Dustin, Chris, thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Nick.
thank
Let's do
you.
music.
That was fun.
Alrighty.
Bye.
See if your heart had a back door, I'd just slip away. Cowardly, but it's my go-to. Seems like every so long needs some profound thing to say. But honest, there's nothing to tell you, except I hope you enjoy this mess, and what you love leads you to success. And when you think of me now and then, forgive your friend who's always leaving. Sometimes I think distance is perfect, 'cause it prolongs our romanticized state. Furthest, other times I really wanna call you, but for some reason shy away, because I know you'd be clear. That makes me sick. So I show up on some cloudy day with like a million pancakes. We talk like it's been no time at all. Still young, dumb, and crashing a bud. You finished in a sense of pride, and you set me up with your extra card. stories to a minimum, 'cause you're sick of them. But I bet you would have loved the lands of Guatemala, Europe, Belgium, Spain, backpack in Yosemite. You'll tell her I'm a full moon that I'm falling out, 'cause no one's around. See, there's this ache in my chest and it won't go away. Doctor says I pulled a muscle, but I think it's some residue from what I couldn't say. So I carved in the wall of the hostel. I wrote, I hope you enjoy this mess, and what you love leads you to success. And when you think of me now and then, forgive your friend who's always leaving. Maybe I'm not cut out for all this. Maybe I want all that life can give. But I hope you know it pains me to know when to be your friend who's always